Hello, it's me, the Gothic Republican here, LeVar Mordred, and this is Australia versus the United States, the gun rights. They had the government buyback from Australia, and it seems like a really dumb idea, especially when you have violent creatures that can kill you easily. But God forbid, the wildlife can kill you fast, but God forbid we have to get rid of weapons. What the hell? And that's the thing is, it doesn't prove anything. Just because you get rid of guns doesn't mean crime's going to go down. Violent crime still happens regardless if there's no guns at all. And I can prove this in this video. This video here is supposed to be very comical, but I want to use this very video for example why the leftist lunatics are completely brain dead about anything about information about gun rights.
In Australia, we've got deadly animals aplenty. We've got funnel web spiders who'll murder you and your family. Under every second rock is a redback spider, and they'll kill you just because, I don't know, they're bored or whatever. We've got invisible brown snakes who'll bite you on the foot and you'll be dead in 7 minutes. Just like that, kaput. We've got the world's deadliest creatures all over the place. We've got magpies who'll steal the eyeballs from your face. But at least we don't have AR-15s.
They keep on bringing up AR-15s. There's other weapons out there besides the AR-15. You gotta be kidding me. And then not only that, it's just, you live in an outback. You kind of need a weapon, but no, you can't get weapons. And then when they did the government buyback, it was only less than 15% of gun owners actually surrendered and gave up their weapons to the government. And guess what? Poaching went up after that, about 65%. You gotta be kidding me.
We've got great white sharks who'll ascend from the deep and rip you in half with their razor-sharp teeth. We've got saltwater crocs who'll death roll you to death, and sea snakes who'll gladly snatch your last breath. We've got a blue-ringed octopus, no bigger than this, that just sits around in rock pools waiting to kill kids, and even the platypus, a cute beaver duck thing, has got a spur on its ankle that'll kill you in one sting. But at least we don't have AR-15s, and at least they can't end up in the hands of psychopathic teens.
This is why I hate this progressive these days. They claim they're open-minded, but they want to throw a negative stereotype towards the goth community that we're school shooters. Again, they claim they're open-minded, but that's the thing is, I mean, you look at this right here. Look at Tipper Gore and the Filthy 15 and the PMRC. They were Democrats. They claim they're open-minded, but they were going against the goth, metal, and punk community back in the day. And don't forget the concert promoter who canceled the Misfits because the lead singer Graves shared a Paul Joseph Watson video. God forbid. And the funny thing, last time I checked, that these school shooters didn't look like or dress like they were gothic. But if you want to, continue the shit show if you want to.
Stonefish and stingrays and sea urchins and shit, and hectic fucking homicidal box jellyfish. And these jellyfish, they aren't even sentient beings. They don't even really do stuff or know about things. They just float around on the whim of the currents being...
Yeah, these progressives kind of remind me of jellyfish almost, you know, just saying.
Pointless, non-cognitive, murderous cunts. And if that weren't enough in terms of natural hazards, here in Australia, the sun causes cancer. But at least we don't have AR-15s, and at least they can't end up in the hands of suicidal teens. And at least we don't have an NRA who pay millions of dollars every day, buying off politicians not to change all.
The beginning of the NRA was founded by abolitionists who gave African Americans the right to bear arms to protect themselves against the Ku Klux Klan. So this group, you complain about it, it's a lobbyist group. Tobacco, alcohol, sugar, everything you own has lobbyists in the White House. So don't sit there and bitch and complain about it. It's our civil duty and rights to have the bear arms. So thank goodness for the damn NRA. I mean, are you guys smoking crack or something like that? You literally are portraying the lobbyists of the NRA as lizard people. Have you been taking too much acid and watching InfoWars? And by the way, you wouldn't have that too much problems with gun violence if you actually enforced the laws that we have now called the Brady Bill. But of course, you're going to throw that out of the window and basically completely ignore that. About 76% of gun violence are guns that were stolen or purchased illegally. And just because it's an old law doesn't mean it should not be gone. The Second Amendment rights and our amendment rights protects us as American citizens for our liberty and justice and freedom.
We've got bull sharks, cone shells, saltwater crocodiles, honeybees, European wasp, blue ringed octopies, death adders, blue bottles, redback spiders, tiger sharks, tiger snakes and lizards that'll bite ya. We got sea snakes, taipans, cassowaries, copperheads, all the creatures of the land and sky and sea that want you dead. Toadfish, stonefish, irukandji jellyfish, bull ants, centipedes and ticks that cause paralysis. Thank fuck we don't have AR-15s, and thank fuck they can't end up in the hands of psychopathic suicidal teens. And thank fuck we don't have an NRA who pay millions of dollars every day buying off politicians not to change some law. A law that was written 200 years ago, in a time when it took 3 minutes to reload.
Actually, it took about like half of a minute to reload those kind of rifles if you were pretty good, if you were a Minuteman. But they did have fully automatic Gatling guns back in the day. They had cannons and they had a few other rifles that shot multiple bursts of bullets. The pickle putt gun, which is a gun that fired 10 at the same time. So yeah, and these guns were around before America was even a thing. Oh god. And you completely forget about that half of the deaths in the combat back in 1776 was mostly bayonets.
A single round of ammunition, we knew nothing about depression, and you couldn't fire 45 rounds in 60 seconds. And there wasn't even such a thing as automatic weapons.
AR-15 is a semi-automatic. There's a quite big difference there. And get a fully automatic, you have to have a Class 3 license. And you guys are completely ignorant. And when you buy a firearm, you have to go through a background check. Guess what? That's called, I don't know, the Brady Bill. This is the one thing I hate about these Democrat progressives. They literally think the United States is the most violent country in the world. Actually, it's not.
There were 31 mass shootings monthly.
And they're completely wrong about that again. No, it haven't been 37 shootings in 1 month. CNN said it was supposed to be, I think it was 9 school shootings, and then later on we found out it was only 3. One's bad enough. Again, a lot of this mainstream media is basically overhyping the situation up, and basically you ask, okay, what about all these supposed shootings? Can you tell me where the areas are? They won't tell you, they won't give you the full facts because, again, they're lying. And to prove to you, I looked up the crime stats of violent crimes. Murders, homicides, assaults, rapes, theft, stealing. I looked up the crime stats. These are the crime stats reports online, right here. And while you look right here, look, Brazil is number 1. You got India, you got Mexico, you got all these other countries here. I don't see the United States. We got China, we got Russia, we got Pakistan, and we're number 14 on the list. What's that tell you? Geez whiz, Batman, we don't need to have guns to have violent crime. Exactly. Majority of these countries, guess what? You're not allowed to have guns. It's kind of funny to me that, you notice something a little different about this list? It seems kind of funny when you have Brazil and you had Mexico on that list as 1 and 3. Hey, no wonder we're trying to build a freaking wall. Oh, God forbid, we're trying to build a wall. I wonder why we're building a wall, huh? And all you guys who are a big fan of Marxism or socialism, hey, you know something different on that list also. China and Russia, and they were, I would say, socialist countries. And you see, socialism clearly doesn't work. And don't give me about the European countries, because they're a mixed economy, not a socialist country. Thank you very much. Why do you think in China that we buy their products, but in Japan we buy their pop culture? Big difference.
But what would I know, because I'm from another country.
You see why I would never live in Australia. Everything and anything and every kind of animal will try to kill you. And you have no way of protecting yourself against these animals that are coming after you. I understand the United States is number 14 on violent crime, and I know that's pretty high, but We're not number one. All these other countries that these liberals praise, and I'm pretty shitty. I mean, we are a country full of democracies and liberty. And this is the best thing about America is I would never move anywhere else. We have the freedom of speech in other countries. You get thrown in prison by saying the wrong thing online. And you know what? There's some narrow-minded people out there. But that's the thing is, if you're going to shut a person like that up, you're going to shut me up next. God bless America. You guys have a good one. I'm sorry I can't put any music into it because this is like last minute, so you know how that is. Everybody have a good one, and bye.